Hey podcast, just before we get you to this episode, I wanted to invite you to join us at pageantlaunch.com. We are starting the world's first dedicated pageant review site, and we want you to join our launch team. All you need to do is put in your email address. It's completely free. We are looking to make the pageant industry safe, transparent, and fair, and we'd love your input on how to do that. So head over to pageantlaunch.com, whack in your email address, and let's get you to this episode. Hey everyone, it is Adrian from the Pageant Project. Sorry, I'm just checking to make sure that you can hear me because I had a bit of an audio issue. So if you can hear me, Mia, can you just say hello?
Hello.
Hello. So if you can hear Mia, you can hear myself. Oh, I just forgot. It is Mia, not Maya, right? We had this. So hang on. Our special guest for today, before I get into it, special guest is Mia Rose Lewis. Very quickly, Lauren is unwell. She might still be hungover from our last podcast, if you saw that last week with Heather. But in seriousness, she's unwell. So that's not actually her, that's a photo. So if you're looking at this and thinking, wow, Lauren's staying really still and it looks really epic, that's a photo. And Miss Latimer is on the bus and scurrying home as we speak. But Mia, how do we pronounce your name? Because apparently this was an issue.
It's Mia, yeah. I mean, I've been called Maya worse things, I suppose. So we'll go with Mia. That'll be great.
I don't want to know what the worst things are. But yeah, so Danielle is on her way home. She'll be joining us soon. And Lauren, get well soon. And it's almost going to be 2020. So Mia, just before Danielle pops on, because I haven't actually interviewed you, I've obviously chatted to you before. We'll treat it, I guess, as a mini interview before Danielle jumps on. But do you want to give the folks at home who maybe don't know who you are a bit of your pageant background?
Okay, so I've been competing in pageants since 2014. So actually not that long really, but 5, maybe nearly 6 years. I first started off competing in Miss Inspiration, which is a small pageant held in Wales, but is actually for the UK title, so anyone around the UK can enter. And I entered that system a number of times over 2 years, I believe, and then so I'd watched Galaxy whilst I was actually a finalist for Miss Inspiration, and I knew that one day it was my dream to be on the stage. So I made the dream happen in 2017, and that was the first time I walked the Galaxy stage. Was fortunate enough to place first runner-up for Miss Teen Galaxy Wales the year Onyx Urandaloo won, and I just had to go back the next year. And then 2018, last year, I won. So I've actually not really done many pageants. When you think about the length of time I've been competing, but how many systems I've entered.
Yeah, but I mean, you said
small.
You started back when you were 2014. So, I mean, for you, because you're obviously very young, that's still a significant chunk of your life. And I remember talking to you, this because you were in the background when we had our first podcast. You and Heather were sharing a room with Danielle, and then you guys hopped on after we cut the stream. But you were saying you're taking a bit of a break. So are you still on break and you're not really decided, or do you know what your future pageant plans are going to be now?
So as soon as I started the International Galaxy stage in July last year, I knew what my plans were going to be going forward. But obviously time is a matter. So I'm just a waiting game, I guess. I have plans.
I'm sure you are. And we were talking to Heather last week, and she said that you guys were doing, what was it that you guys were doing? You were doing something manic. Was it like 30 days of appearances or something?
Okay, so since being a finalist for Galaxy, so 2016, I would have become a finalist for the first year I competed in Galaxy. I've done a special countdown, the 24 days leading up to Christmas. And for each day leading up to, so over those 24 days, I've carried out like an act of kindness, volunteered, donated to appeals, sort of anything, giving back, or anything festive then that I could get involved with. And so I done that as a finalist in 2016, 2017. I completed it as Miss Teen Galaxy Wales last year, and I'm lost without a sign. So I fell in love with making a difference over Christmas, and I knew I wanted to do it this year. And Heather is crazy with her appearances. She's always busy, and I'm usually tagging along with her. So I said to her, do you fancy doing this? Because I knew she was gonna plan something of her own anyway. And I said, well, why don't we do it together? My niece, Khalees Rose Lewis, junior teen Cardiff Galaxy, she's competing in March. So she said she'd love to do some bits and bobs over the Christmas period. So I thought it'd be brilliant if the three of us could do it together. So we all had a little look on Facebook and come up with different ideas, and then we made a little plan together of what we could do over the 24 days. So it was a very busy 24 days. But we loved it, absolutely loved it.
Hearing from Heather, also with Heather's work and her schedule, I'm sure you know what she was working on Christmas Day, Boxing Day. She's going to be working New Year's Day, so she can't really do much on New Year's Eve. And then to do what you just said busy. On top of that, it was just... And then to appear on our podcast, I felt sorry for her. I said, like, oh my God.
She is a miracle. She honestly is. She just does so much in so little time. Anyone would swear that she has 75 hours in a day rather than 24. Sometimes I think she forgets to sleep.
Quite possibly she does.
She does.
Hannah Golding has said, yes, the 2014 Miss Inspiration heats. And she's also said she's still been to so many appearances, hardworking queen. So apparently you're hardworking too.
Thank you, Hannah.
On that note, because I know you're very good friends with Heather. You two are like tied at the hip. Although I remember you saying that you're one half of her because she's a deal taller than you. Is it Heather's 5'10", 5'11", and you are not quite that?
And I'm 5'4". So we look great stood next to each other.
Do people think you're like big sister, little sister?
Well, Heather's got a really young face, and although she could be my big sister, I think she's going to love me for saying this, I think people think we're around the same age.
Okay.
So best friends, I'm gonna say she can take that as a compliment.
That's much better than being confused for mother-daughter, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. But my mother is actually smaller than me.
How big are we talking, or how small?
She's 4'11.5", and she never forgets that half.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I understand that, but I'm sorry. But as soon as it starts with a 4, it's like, oh wow. I think that
I know
might actually be the shortest. If she's 4'11.5", why doesn't she just call it 5? Just cheat and call it 5.
Because I really think that she's lying about the half.
I was going to say it's probably 4'11". There's no half in there. Is your whole family short? Or
no, the rest of them are pretty average. It's just my mum. They say big things come in small packages, don't they? So
well, they say good things come in small packages. So you and your mum certainly must have lucked up. Tell us about Heather. Like, obviously, as I was saying, you two are tied at the hip. So how did you guys meet? I assume it's through pageantry, but obviously you two have developed a very special bond and you seem to do a lot of things together. So how did that happen?
So actually through Galaxy, so I knew that Heather won Miss Galaxy Wales, and I was actually at her handover, but I didn't know her at this point. I think it was only really just after I won in March last year. Megan Goldberg, I'm not sure if you're familiar with her.
I know the name, yep.
Yeah,
Hey.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Danielle. Welcome.
Thank you. What did I come in at?
I was just treating it as a mini interview with Mia. She was telling us a story about how she met her taller half.
Your taller half?
Well, I mean Heather. I mean the 5'11".
Oh.
Yeah.
Aw, you guys, you're so cute.
Mia,
I know.
Mia, continue.
Danielle. Oh, so I was speaking about Maggie G.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
So me and
my wifey,
your wifey, yes, we was planning to go to Power Pageant, UK Power Pageant, and the three of us decided to travel up together because we're from within, say, half an hour of each other. And then after that trip, me and Heather have been pretty much inseparable. She was obviously a finalist when I was a queen, so we made lots of appearances together leading up to the international finals, and then again when I came back from internationals, we made lots of appearances, and our friendship's just really grown into something really special. I'm gonna cry. No, honestly though, we spend more weekends together than not. We're actually spending New Year's Eve tomorrow together as well.
Oh, you guys.
But she'll have to stop fairly early and not get, because I mean she's working New Year's Day, so she can't go completely crazy.
Yeah.
So she's already made that clear. She finishes work at something like 5 o'clock, and then we're going to go out for a few hours, and then make sure that she's home to have a good rest before her early start.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever asked you guys who the hardest working UK pageant queen is, because first off, let me make it clear, the amount that a lot of you work is absolutely insane. I mean, Danielle, like when you drove up for the hedgehogs, that was insane. But in terms of like who the hardest working pageant queen in the UK would be, that's have to be one of the hardest questions to answer.
Definitely up there.
Well, and also being super organized as well by the sounds of it, because it's one thing to be hardworking, but as Mia was saying just before you jumped on, Danielle, like the amount that she fits in, I don't know how you guys do it on top of having a job. It's not like you're just at home doing nothing.
No, I agree. So I try and help where I can. I'm really fortunate to have a job where I can be flexible to a certain degree in what times I start and finish, and I work Monday to Friday, so my weekends are pretty free anyway. Well, they are until me and Heather are doing something. So I actually had Heather's timetable off her, and then we would sort of try and do what we could around.
You two need like a shared calendar.
Yeah, it was basically that.
Do you two live close to one another? I mean, you must.
We actually live around an hour apart, which sounds a lot, but it's not. It's just on the motorway down the road, really, I see it as. And we usually meet in the middle anyway.
Right. That's not too close together, though. I mean, it's not next door. That still needs some sort of commitment and some sort of getting out of the house, because I can tell you a lot of people, like if we're an hour apart, be like, no, that's too far. So
she certainly put some miles on her car, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I get a feeling that a lot of you pageant queens put a lot of miles on your car and yourself, for that matter. But that's cool, because I haven't interviewed you yet, Mia. We should set that up some other time, but I did want to just get a bit of background.
Oh, thank you.
Danielle, what's been... And first off, I don't know, like, as Lauren has said that she's sick, but if Danielle can remember back to last week, I'm saying that I think Lauren might still be hungover from last week.
Yeah, last week was fun.
don't know if Lauren remembers any of it, but
Well,
that
she's got the video footage to look back on, so if she doesn't remember it, she can rewatch it.
Oh, I'll be digging the clips out of that. I can tell you, because yeah. Anyway, Danielle, what's been going on with you? What's been happening? It's been a manic. Obviously, we're between Christmas and New Year's now. So, how's life?
Life is busy, and I wish I had more pageantry related stuff to talk about, but I really don't have that much to talk about because my life has just been taken over by work right now. Working for a gym, this is kind of like one of the busiest times for us, and not only working at this time for a gym, it's a new gym, so it's just opened. So as you can imagine, it is very long days, and tomorrow is set to be my longest day. I think I've got a target of 20 sales to do in one day, so I don't know if that's physically possible. I'm gonna have to ask if some people can take some of my appointments, and yeah, I've already got some of my colleagues are already seeing some of my meetings anyway, so it's we're kind of stretched ourselves quite thin over this period. There is like an incentive as well at the end of year. We have like a gift card. Whoever joins basically in the next day gets a £100 gift card when they join.
Oh wow!
And as well as the initiation fee being waived. So
That's unusual. You call it an initiation fee. We call it a joining fee. Yeah. Initiation sounds like one of the things you do, like a hazing ritual.
A challenge.
Maybe. Yeah, we don't like the word joining fee. I think it sounds a bit, because we are more of a private members club. We try and make it a little bit more bougie. Just like how we don't call, I hate using this word, like a contract. I hate the word. It's so hard. So we use the term
formal.
Yeah, we use the term agreement. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's sort of making words sound a little more positive.
Yeah, so we have a lot of like sales training and how we verbalize things, and it's fun, it's in depth, but it's damn busy this time of year.
Is it also
I
busy?
Bet you love it, though.
But is it also busy because it's the end of the year and everyone's like #New Year, New Me, and they're wanting to? Okay, I was going to say
absolutely
20 sales in one day, because like I'm not going to get you to disclose your percentages, but to get 20 sales, like even if you're running at 50% or 80%, that means you've got to take more than 20 appointments in one day. That is just like mind blown. That is my
what
head.
It is, it's a lot of following up with appointments that I've had throughout the month that they just were sitting on it thinking about it, because it is a lifestyle change. It's a big life decision. It's not a cheap membership, so there's a lot to consider. I think at the end of the month, I just get the manic calls calling me, and I'm busy showing people the club. So I always say to people, I said to someone the other day, it's like, don't leave it to the last day. Like I beg you, don't leave it to the last day, because I'll be busy and you won't get the offer.
Yeah.
So,
you told them.
Yeah, I know, and I've had a guy promise me, he's like, I won't leave to the last day. Well, tomorrow's the last day, so unless he's texting me before midnight to get set up, he's left it to the last day, and I'm going to lose my rag of him.
It's interesting. No matter how good the club is, no matter how much they say they're committed, it's like, I think the percentage, and also with New Year's resolutions, which a lot of people do. I think there's some statistic like by the end of the first week, I think like 80% of people have already, violated. I know that's a harsh word, but violated or lost already, given up on their New Year's resolution. But your club looks amazing.
If you're gonna make a fitness goal, you have to have it feasible, basically. You can't have something ridiculous. You got to have small, tiny changes, and usually they're habit changes. So instead of saying I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, you're setting yourself up for failure, because you don't know what's going to happen in your week. Something might happen and then you've already failed. Whereas if you say, okay, well, I'm going to make certain health changes where, for example, my problem is I'm always dehydrated. I don't drink enough. So I made a conscious decision to buy myself a bottle and carry my bottle of water everywhere with me. So it's small changes like that you need to make in your life. And when it comes to your fitness goals, aim to get in there as much as possible, but don't beat yourself up about it if you don't make it in 5 times a week. Maybe aim for like 3 times a week is a nice amount.
Sounds good to me. I did the same trick with the bottle in terms of getting, because I think the target for a guy normally is about 3 liters a day. So I got there you go. And so I got like a large container that was a 3-liter container and just tried to finish that in one day.
Wow.
Mia just got back from the gym as well.
Did you? What did you train?
So I had my PT session today.
Oh,
so
yeah,
all
PT.
over body workout. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a little weird starting PTs up in the beginning of November, but I just think burning off what I'm going to eat over Christmas. So
absolutely,
whatever I've
starting your time
I've
is
certainly
perfect.
put back on.
You usually get the best pick of the PTs around November as well, because it's kind of everyone's fallen off the wagon a little bit. They're not caring so much because they've got Christmas coming up. So usually the PTs have really good availability. So when you're shopping around for a PT, you can basically, in any gym, you have the best pick of the one that's most suitable for you. Because that's one of the problems that we have at our gym, is that once the PTs are all kind of booked up, it's hard to get a time slot in with the one that you want. So I can never promise a certain PT.
And then you go on the waiting list.
Yeah. Or you get matched with someone that you probably wouldn't have such a great session with, and then it's a bit of a waste of money if you don't have a good relationship with, or you're getting what you want out of it. So yeah, November's like the best time to get a PT.
I've always thought that matching with a PT is a bit like dating. It's just sometimes it works and sometimes it really, really doesn't.
Yeah, you need to have
I've been really lucky.
Banter.
Yeah, I've been lucky. I in the same gym that I've been at for coming up maybe like 2 years. I was with a PT last year, training for UK Galaxy and then internationals, and I absolutely loved training with him. And then I just changed to a different PT in the gym, the same gym, not for any reason other than me and my friend decided we wanted doubles, and she'd been with him before, and I just thought it's nice to have a bit of a change.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, and sometimes if sometimes you want to go with a different PT for different things. Like we have a boxer at my PT, so if you want to go and spar, you've got someone that's really great at boxing. If you want to do some weightlifting, we've got some weightlifting specialists in, and like strength and conditioning coaches as well as being PTs. So it really depends on kind of what session you want to have, because they all have their unique things. So whenever I talk to someone about PT, I'm always like, okay, tell me your goals, tell me what you want to do in your session, so I can have an idea, because I know all of them. There's like 35 of them. And they all have dating. Yeah, I basically match people. It's
you're
like,
a matchmaker. You're like Tinder.
I'm like PT Tinder.
You can swipe right, swipe left.
Yeah. That's a concept.
Well, you could. That'd actually be really fun. When I joined the gym way back when, the first gym I ever joined, and I wanted a PT, this is not a good criteria to have, but I basically thought that to achieve fitness, you needed to inflict pain on yourself. And I was very, very extreme with it. So I picked this woman, this young lady who was hard as rocks. Like she had our gym had this wall where they had all the pictures of the PTs, and underneath their profiles they would have a quote. And her quote was something like manicuring a rock garden with your mind or something like that. And then she had some sort of quote about pain. And at one point in the gym, and I will remember this till the day I die, she had me doing bear crawls. I don't know if you guys know what bear crawls are.
Yeah.
But literally you're crawling around on all fours, except you're not on your knees, you're on your feet. So it's a really good core workout. And she had me crawling around the gym doing a bear crawl. And she was
just a warm up.
No, this was part of the workout. That was like the active rest section. And she was pretending that this sounds bad, but it was funny at the time. She was pretending to take me for a walk, like I was like on a leash. It was, yeah.
It's sounding more kind of dominatrix than it does PT.
I know, that's what I was saying. Like, it doesn't sound so good, but at the time it was hilarious. But look, that's a lot of interesting insight into PTs, and I'm sure a lot of people
into the gym.
Yeah, thinking about going or joining a gym in the new year. I wonder
We've totally made loads of people feel bad about eating chocolate over Christmas, and now they're going to go to the gym. You're definitely going to hit your 20 tomorrow.
Well, how much have you guys indulged over the festive period? I mean, obviously it's not New Year's yet, but over Christmas, have you guys? How naughty have you been?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Like if there's mince pies or stuff in front of me, I'll probably eat it. But I'm actually over Christmas. My auntie has relatively healthy nibbles out. She'll have like olives out and like healthier options. So just nibble on those.
I think you get to a point as well where you've eaten so much rubbish that you don't actually want to eat anymore anyway.
Yeah, on here.
Yeah, I get to that point fairly quickly. Okay.
Has something happened on your side, Adrian?
Yeah, I've just flipped it up.
Yeah, can you guys still see each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Just my internet is glitching out again. Oh dear.
I got called Australian again today, Adrian.
Just bear with me a second. The live has dropped out because my internet has lovely Australian internet. You guys can talk amongst yourselves because we're not live at the moment.
I'm just gonna have a little nana nap, don't mind me.
Yeah.
I am so sick of Australian internet.
Did you say you did upper body today, Mia?
All over. I had PT on.
You're gonna feel that tomorrow.
I know, and I had one on Saturday as well because I couldn't make it last Monday for some reason. So I done it Saturday and then today as well.
How are you feeling today having it? Because I had PT on Saturday as well, and I can't walk. Stairs are not my friends.
I'm a little achy today, but I'm actually getting used to it now. So not that he doesn't push me enough, but I think when you first start out,
I think 3 weeks in, 2 weeks in, you get used to it.
Yeah, and then you have certain sessions where you struggle to walk up the stairs, or everything's aching.
Yeah,
but I'm okay.
My PT on Saturday actually made me vomit. It was that.
Yeah, I don't like those sessions.
But I hadn't trained in a very long time properly, and he pushed me.
Well,
and I didn't have breakfast. Well, I had a banana, but that wasn't substantial enough. And I had coffee. And this was probably around about 2:00. So all I'd had in my stomach was a banana and a coffee. And
We're live again. We're live again, Danielle.
I was just giving the gruesome details of my...
I was going to say, you can keep going, but just know that we've gone live again. Sorry, guys. My internet. I love Australia, but if there's one reason I want to move, it's because of the internet. Let's be completely blunt. So sorry about that. If we drop out again, I've got the recording. This happened when we had Joanna on the first time, and I'll put up the recording. But apologies. I think oh no. It's streaming, but it's not live. Hang on, let me hit. God, my brain.
I was going to say, I don't. Am I going to say nothing?
We're going live. We're going live. There, go live. Please go live.
In 3, 2, 1.
Okay, yeah, now you're live.
Is that in your hand?
Oh yeah, I just saw. I thought you were eating a carrot.
Yeah, I thought that was a carrot stick.
I mean, I'm kind of not healthy, but I wouldn't be snacking. On carrots especially.
Yeah, so guys sorry we dropped out. It's Australian internet. I was just telling the girls off stream, it's like if there's one reason to move away from Australia, as wonderful as this country is, the internet is just next level stupid. Well, I mean, Mia, you're much healthier than what Lauren was talking about last week, going in between Taco Bell, KFC, and God knows what else.
I'm not going to pretend that I'm innocent and I don't eat rubbish, because I absolutely do. And I don't regret it afterwards either.
I'm honestly a little afraid to come over to the UK because of the food, because every time I've come to the UK in the past, I get sick because I am so used to eating healthy. And when I go to the UK, it's just like, oh my God, I can't I can't eat
I
this.
don't get that though. There's so many options, so many healthy options.
America's a lot worse.
Well, I kind of put them in the same
UK.
bucket, but like, maybe it's better now.
Put them in the same family KFC bucket.
But pretty much, like Lauren was going, Taco Bell, KFC, like all these. I haven't been to KFC
so when
in
you came
10
to
years.
the UK, what sort of things or places did you eat at when you were in Wales specifically?
In Wales, well, we were preparing a lot of stuff at home in Wales, but
I think that's probably the best thing.
We were in Cardiff, so around that area there were a lot of sort of pubs, and I did want to try pub food because I'd heard pub food can be really good, and sometimes it was okay, but a lot of the times it was really like very greasy and very salty, a lot more so than what I'm used to, and I just got sick. There was one time we were driving from Cardiff to sort of the west coast through the is it Brecon Beacons or Snowdonia? We were driving through Snowdonia.
Okay.
And like when we got there, like the view was amazing, but there's literally I've never had this before. At one point we had gotten so sick of eating junk food that we were both craving a green salad. So we went to the local supermarket there, got a bag of leaves, ran to the car and just started going mental on these green leaves. It was something else, but it was just so, and I'm not a picky eater. Like I'll pretty much eat anything, but I really need to have at least something healthy, probably 50% of the day. And I also need to be outdoors and be active. If I don't eat healthy and I don't get to move, I get very grumpy first off, but also I just feel really sluggish. So I'm hoping it's changed. I mean, can you guys give me some hope? Is there any hope?
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Those are famous last words.
Well, the park hall is not known.
The hotel.
There is a gym. Yes, I used that a couple of days.
Food, you might struggle with eating healthy at the hotel, but you can, there's shops locally. We can drive you to get some good snacks.
You guys are gonna hate me. I'll be like, "There's nothing to eat here. It's all fried food and candy."
Grapes at you from across the room, being like, "Eat a damn grape."
My trainer that I was talking about used to say that I was a breatharian because she was convinced that the only thing that all I ate was spinach leaves, and that all I did was breathe. I didn't do anything else, and she wasn't far wrong because at that stage I was raw foodist.
I was gonna say you were raw foodist, weren't you?
Yep.
I don't know how you did that. It's crazy.
I mean, how come you decided to no longer be a raw foodist?
It's very extreme, and I don't necessarily think extreme is a bad thing, but I think over time, as I get older, what I realize is that it's more important that you can do something and sustain it. If you wanted, I could craft you the most extreme diet that's, ultra refined, ultra this, and you'd eat it, you'd probably feel phenomenal physically, but you'd be miserable because when I was a raw foodist, I would go out just socially and I couldn't eat anything. I mean, literally, I couldn't even have a salad because the dressing would have been processed. So when I went out, my default was I'd ask the wait staff, okay, can you give me a green salad, just the leaves, and just give me some olive oil and lemon juice, like a lemon on the side, because olive oil and lemon, you can make a vinaigrette. And I didn't mind that. Like I was all right in terms of not having a lot of food choices, but what I found is a lot of people, when you go out and you make that sort of choice that you're only having salad, they get a little, not offended, but it's a very uncomfortable, weird, I don't know.
It does affect your social life. That's one thing I noticed when I was vegan. It was, well, back then it was a lot harder because there was no.
I think now is much, much easier. My manager
now is
actually
so much
a
easier.
vegan, and she makes the most delicious food. And sometimes I think, I think I could do it. I think it's more the effort in comparison to what you used to. So you can chuck some chicken in the frying pan, and you can put a salad on a plate and put some chicken with the salad, and happy days. But to make it more delicious but vegan, is that a little bit harder.
It takes a little bit more kind of. It's a way of. It's a mentality change. You really have to change your approach, your thinking towards food.
It's definitely all routine. I think once you've gotten out of your old routine and then you're into your new ways, I think it's probably easy. But I enjoy having
for anyone that's thinking about going vegan for January.
I tried it last year.
I saw that, and of all the people for me to see it from Lauren bloody Parkinson after the podcast. It's like talking like the Taco Bell girl is going veganary, whatever it's called. It's like, really? It's like, wow, that's amazing. And part of me is going, good luck.
You're going to get to day 5 and cry.
I made it 4 days last year.
To be fair, most people who go vegan probably cry. I mean, you can use your tears for salt, but because Mia asked me why did you go vegan? Because I went when I raw foodist when I did it, it was probably about 10 years ago, and I do think Australia is easier to do those sort of dietary choices than probably what it was in the UK, although maybe, as you said, the UK is easier now. But back then I did it for health reasons. And I got to say, like, I felt really energetic. I was not on having any coffee, any stimulants. And it was very, like, I'm not picky with my food. So when I wanted a snack, literally I'd go to the supermarket, get a cucumber and just eat the cucumber, or like a pack of cherry tomatoes. But I lost so much weight. And I know that might sound appealing to some.
That's why a lot of people go vegan, I think.
Yeah, but I wasn't strong.
You have to eat more. You do
because veggies basically have no calories.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people think. Oh, I'm going to go vegan and lose weight. Yeah, you lose weight, but to maintain your energy levels as well, you have to eat substantially a lot more in vegetable matter. So you do have to have like a bigger plate of food.
And you have to sort of get the good nutrients from other places, whereas product you would normally eat if you weren't vegan, you automatically get that and you don't think about it.
The thing is that the nutrient side of things is normally okay. So what happened, I don't want to go into too much detail because I'll be here like for hours, because I can lecture on this for hours, because basically what happened, and it started from America, as a lot of things do, the whole idea, for example, that you need a certain amount of cereal a day, actually it's not for health reasons, it's because the cereal companies had so much money, they were able to lobby America to create that food pyramid that had cereals in it. And the meat and dairy companies did similar things. It's pretty much proven now that you don't need, I think, animal product. But I mean, I have it, so I'm not lecturing anyone. The only one is B12. Now, B12 is not found in animal in plant products, but what used to happen was that when animals basically were fertilizing the land, you would get trace amounts of B12 because they were pooing on the land. Iron is one that a lot of women in particular obviously are concerned about, but I know a lot of people who eat a lot of meat and are still iron deficient. But so you can take mainly supplements for the iron and B12. But aside from the nutrition benefits, I think a bigger benefit these days is for the planet itself. Yeah. Because I was watching, there's that documentary on Netflix now, which is, I can't remember what it's called, but it's about going vegan. And one of the most confronting topics for me, one of the most confronting parts for me was they said for like a hamburger patty to make that, the amount of embedded water in it, it was like some crazy amount of thousands or hundreds of liters. Because if you think of the amount of water needed to irrigate the crops, to feed the cow, it was just like to have that one hamburger patty has such a catastrophic cost to the planet. And I think for a lot of people, that's a bigger deal than what they put in their own body. And I think but I'm not going to go vegan at the moment. But having said that, a lot of the time, what I have is vegan. It's not because I'm saying I am vegan. It's just because that's what I want.
That's what you eat.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you spent as much time as I have being a raw foodist, like for me, I found some stuff obviously that I like. And is healthy for you, and I just have that whenever I want. I mean, I'm sure Danielle is the same. Like when you live vegan for a year, you come up with your little cheat ways of, things like making desserts, for example, that are vegan with nut butters and things like that, and avocado, which for me is still a very weird thing.
Yeah, making. Weirds me out a bit. Like, I don't know. My dad has it in the fridge, and I'm just like, oh.
The
No.
cow's milk, cow's milk in terms of what can be in it is pretty it's up there.
Me, I'm going to
It's like-
send you links, and you're going to be grossed out.
Do you know what? No thanks. It sounds awful though, but I think maybe growing up with 3 brothers, I've never really been a fussy eater, so I just kind of eat whatever, and I think maybe is a good thing, but I don't link animals and the food on my plate together. So I'm eating the food and I'm enjoying it, and if I see the videos, I'll break my heart crying. But there is a barrier there for me, which I see as a good thing at the moment. And I think actually I could probably go vegetarian. I could go vegan because I do like everything. I think it's just what was in the fridge.
Routine as well. It's
exactly. Routine.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'll just quickly say, sorry, Mia, just give me a second.
Oh, go on.
Let me just, because we've got a couple of comments. So Megan Bowles has said, Mia Rose, on the topic of food, we need another Nando's date. And I just, Kelsey Poulton has jumped in and said, hey guys and gals. And I'm assuming Kelsey's probably watching because Mia's on. So hello, Kelsey. Hope you're doing well.
Hello, Kelsey. I miss you.
Mia, continue.
I'm on, Adrian.
Of course, she's watching because both of you are on. Mia, continue.
So, what I was going to say, fun fact of the day, whether it's true or not, do not quote me on it. But people say that it's not actually the meat that's good for you, as well as what is pumped into the meat before they put it for sale. So actually, the goodness in the meat is in the meat.
You're opening up such a you're opening up such a Pandora's box here, Mia, because
don't go into Adrian. Don't open it. Don't open it.
I'm not going to dive into it. And like, if you eat meat, and I eat meat, and this is one of the big issues I had when I was a raw food / vegan. Like, just because I would tell people what I was doing, and I wouldn't tell people, but if they asked me, I'd have to tell them. Then they would start attacking me, saying, meat's good, meat's this, how can you not? And the question is like, where do you get your protein and where do you get your iron? And it's like, oh my. So I really got sick of answering all those questions, and I don't blame them for asking it, because what's happened is there's been a lot of misinformation spread by the people who stand to lose money, which namely is the dairy industry and the meat industry. And to what you said, Mia, Jamie Oliver said that's a big issue in the UK in particular. I don't know if it's in the US or Australia. I can't speak to that, but the sort of barrier, as you said, between knowing, for example, that a sausage actually comes from having to kill an animal, unless it's a vegetarian sausage. A lot of kids in the UK school system, because he was going into schools, they didn't realize that. They just thought sausages kind of appeared. And where do sausages come from? They come from the supermarket. Yeah, but where do they come from? It's like, I don't know. But
I do think there's probably a lack of education around it then, but I think maybe going forward in schools there is going to be a little bit more about that, but I think it's a choice at home rather than in school.
Yeah, there's a really good documentary on Netflix, if anyone's on Netflix, Game Changers. Adrian, have you seen it?
Thank you, that's the one. That's the one I was thinking about.
That's the one you saw. So it's focused more around health, around going plant-based, and they interview bodybuilders and athletes. And
I follow that bodybuilder now.
Yeah, and
He's
how
amazing.
their lives have been affected since turning vegan. And
I've seen a lot of people just on my Facebook feed recently actually trying it for a diet, and they just said like how much better they feel from it, and they look better too. So
don't get me wrong, like when you first go, I had a really bad breakout. Really bad. So if anyone that goes vegan for veganuary and you get bad breakouts, is totally normal. Basically, it's your body getting rid of all the toxins, all the rubbish that's sitting in your skin, sitting in your pores. It's like pushing it all out because your whole body.
And I think that goes for any diet, really, doesn't it? Any change in your diet, your body just reacts to it, and everyone's reacting.
I was on the brink of giving up. I was like, I can't do this. This is making my whole face. Like, I've had
that
really
first
bad
period is
acne.
the worst. It's the hardest part to get through. A lot of people will suffer from headaches as well and get achy. Yeah. They'll get pains. They will feel foggy. But as Danielle said,
symptoms of like sugar as well.
Well, literally, yeah. So the science, the reasoning behind it is that a lot of people, basically what they're shoveling in their mouths is poison. Your body treats it as being toxic. So if you eat fried food, for example, so KFC, there are a lot of what are called trans fats, and that's become a huge thing in Australia because those are proven to be carcinogenic. So your body goes, okay, we can't have this in our system because we would die, because our bodies are very intelligent. Like, honestly, for some people to be alive, given what they eat, I'm not talking to Lauren, it's like nothing short of a miracle. But your body will go, okay, we can't have those toxins. So a lot of the time it stores it in your fat, in your body fat, because that's not in your bloodstream. So very often when people can't lose weight, no matter how little they eat or how much they exercise, it's because your body is going, if we burnt off the fat, the toxins would go in the bloodstream and you would die. So when you switch to the healthy diet, your body goes, thank God you're not poisoning me anymore. We can finally get rid of the toxins. And that's when you can have the breakouts and all those other things. So if you can just sort of make it through that really tough period, then on the other side, hopefully you'll feel amazing. But to come full circle, when I was raw foodist, I mean, I'm 6'1", so 185 centimeters. I, at that time, weighed 70 kilos, or that's like 150 pounds. And for a guy my height to only weigh 150 pounds is bordering on underweight. Now, I felt great. I felt energetic, but I didn't feel particularly strong. So I think it's like anything. So
roughly what is that in stone? Sorry, I'm not very good with pounds.
Can anyone convert 150? I don't know what stone is.
Can you help?
I'm looking it up.
Nancy Hodgson, Miss Teen GB has jumped on. Nancy, I think you're vegetarian, right? I remember from our interview, and she said we get secondary protein.
150 pounds.
Yeah, roughly 154 pounds. Nancy has said we get secondary protein from the animals who get it from the plants. Yeah, that's a lot of the chain. Is that the plants, like the animals eat the plants, and then,
11 stone.
Okay.
They're under. So yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, light. Nancy's right, isn't she?
Well, I mean, Nancy has. I think she is vegetarian now. I don't think she's vegan. She can clarify. But I'm not going to. Well, the one thing I do, I say jokingly, it's like I love going vegan. I love vegan. I just can't stand vegans. And I mean that half tongue in cheek.
I was the same. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, just eat what you want to eat and don't inflict it. Like, just there's a way to go about it. You can inform people if they want to be informed, but I think pushing it, you're just doing it an injustice, really, and making people have a negative view on it. Really, when it's
hopefully we've given lots of pageant people some tips on dieting, nutrition. They weren't expecting that when they decided to join the live stream.
It is really, really difficult, though. I do feel for people because I know a lot about nutrition because I was fascinated by it. I didn't study it officially, but like I watch all the documentaries, I read a lot of books. The China study. If you're looking for a book to read the China study. That will blow your mind, and you probably will never eat meat. And there's this old saying that if everyone lived in slaughterhouses and abattoirs, if abattoirs had glass walls, everyone would go vegetarian. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's like, if you watch how the animals are slaughtered, it's like, yeah, I don't feel like I really want to go and eat a burger now. But it is very difficult because at the moment, the popular diet, Danielle probably will know, working in a gym, it's the low carb, high protein diet, or the low carb or no carb, the paleo, the Atkins, keto, going into keto. And they're like, okay, this is really good for you because, and basically you don't eat carbs. So you've taken out, in terms of carbs, proteins, fats, you basically decimate carbs.
Basically another Atkins diet. You know, it's just got so many names.
Yeah, and like, it's like, how do you make a choice? Should I go like Atkins and keto, or should I go vegan? Like, and it's, you can't really go vegan without having carbs. So I was looking up the other day vegan keto diets, and basically all you can eat is avocados. I was like, oh god, like I mean, I'm extreme, but I can't. You can't eat off like just like one food and tell me that you're going to. So it was avocados and nuts, and I'm like, well, no, I couldn't do that, and I don't necessarily think it's a good idea. But I do feel for people who are at the end of the year, maybe joining a gym, and they're like, okay, I'm going to clean up my diet. Where do you start? Like, honestly, I don't know.
There are so many options, and I just think that everyone is different, and things that work for some don't necessarily work for others, and that's absolutely fine, isn't it? It's finding out what's best for you.
Exactly.
I always think a good thing to look by is if you don't know what the ingredient is, don't eat it.
Yes, if you can't pronounce it, don't eat it.
That would be everything.
That's just your accent, Mia. That's not because you can't.
I was going to bring that up, but I thought, oh, I best not. I'm getting away with it so far.
It's so funny. See, I can understand you now. I was pulling your leg a little bit the other day, but I don't know. We've gone on a this has been a very random podcast, but it's been very interesting for me.
We've gone off on a real tangent.
I think the three things, and you guys can agree or disagree. That's fine. But the three things that diets actually agree on, because there aren't many. One is water. Drink enough water. The second is eat a lot of vegetables, specifically green leafy vegetables. We don't agree on the fruit because of the carbs, but we all agree on the green veg. Sugar. And the third one is just get enough sleep, and reduce stress. It's really those three things. So if you do those three things, if you do those three things, oh, Danielle, that's you can do that for a while.
I've even got a sleep app that tracks my sleep. I don't think I've used it for the past few nights, but I have had a very bad history of sleep. I've had insomnia when I was at uni, and then I overcome it. But I really have to work. Some people have to work on their mental health. They have to work on their physical health. I have to really work on my sleep health. It's something that I have to work on. So my sleep journal, Sunday night, 5 hours, 22.
Oh my god.
I'll have to.
See, I'm usually in bed, nearly asleep right now.
So this is actually a really cool app. It's called, what is it called? Sleep Cycle. So if anyone that's having problems with sleep, check out Sleep Cycle. So you plug your phone in next to you while you sleep, and it actually records you if you snore. And I did not snore last night. Look, no hours snoring.
I'm not sure I believe you. I've heard you snore before.
Well, it's never recorded me.
I should have.
It says, it took me 2 minutes to fall asleep after setting this. Clearly, I was very tired. So you set it.
That's good going.
Yeah, so it registers any noise. So if you're moving around, if you're rustling, if you're stirring, and when that stops, that's when it knows that you're asleep. And then there's spikes. You see how it jumps up and down?
Yeah.
That's really normal. So when it goes really low, you're in a deep sleep. So there's usually going to be spikes in your sleep where you fall into a deep sleep, and then you go to the verge to wake up, and then into a deep sleep again. But then I clearly took a long time to wake up because I was pretty much awake without taking the app off. So I was having a nice lay in there, clearly.
I will have to actually use that app because, funnily enough, I actually have very big problems and have had for the longest time problems with my sleep, to the point where the guy who runs a local cafe, every time I see him, he goes, "You getting sleep? How's your sleep?" Because I can't fall asleep. It's so bad. It's gone to the point where unless I have Netflix on or YouTube on in the background, I can't sleep because my brain won't switch off. And then every time I wake up, I am exhausted. I am useless. I have a cup of coffee, but it's not the coffee that actually wakes me up. It's just I need an hour before I can interact with humanity. So I will actually check that app out because my sleep health is catastrophic. And it's ironic that the barista who gives me the caffeine keeps asking me about sleep. At one point, he was telling me that I should stop drinking coffee, and it's like,
You're selling it. He's trying to lose. Yeah, he really cares. He's willing to lose your customer.
Yeah, no, he was a really good guy. When we had the blackout here with the freak sort of tornado, he let me use the power at his cafe, and he gave me an extension cord and everything. Kind. He's a really nice guy. Danielle, what were you saying?
I was saying, like, this app actually is really good. It like calculates your steps. You like put notes on there as well. So if you've had caffeine before you went to bed, it picks up on certain patterns. So you say it gives you options of things before you sleep. So when you click, okay, I'm going to bed, it will ask you, have you worked out, had caffeine, your mood, it'll ask you loads of things. So you tick, and it will pick up on certain patterns over time. So you'll notice, and it will let you know if, say, for example, hey, you haven't worked out today, so that's probably why you're not going to sleep early, or you've had caffeine after 6 o'clock, that's probably why.
That app is going to inflict so much guilt on me. I love it.
Yeah, it really does. Like 5 hours sleep. I've had 5 hours, 20 minutes sleep. I had.
I really can't download it because it's going to tell me I've had 9.5 hours sleep.
Yeah.
But everyone is different. Like biologically, people need different amounts of sleep, and it changes as you get older as well. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but there's some sort of Asian, I think Eastern wisdom that says the best amount of sleep is in multiples of 3 hours. So don't get 3 hours of sleep, but 6 or 9. And I tend towards the 6. Like I can't stay asleep more than 6. I mean, I came back the other night at 2 in the morning, and I got into bed at 2:30 a.m. I was up at 6:30. So it's not for me, waking up is a problem. We're just waking up and not wanting to feel exhausted, frankly. Because I don't remember the last time I woke up and went, I feel refreshed. It's more, oh my God. I know, yeah. I need to wake up.
Like twice a year I ever feel like that.
I think I'm always going, like, when I go for example, if I've got a big trip planned and I'm excited about that, then I will be energized. But that's not really energized. That's more adrenaline rush. So
I was going to say, yeah, that's not...
Waking up feeling refreshed... That's like a distant memory for me. So you guys who can fall asleep anywhere, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed, I am very envious of you. Please teach me your ways. But I will look into that app because it's like something that I really, really need.
You need it in your life.
I do.
Yeah. It has guided meditation on there as well, which is really good. Like music with sounds to make you go to sleep. So I have like rain and.
I should try that. I've had more than one person suggest that I should try meditation. I've not been successful with it in the past because my brain just spazzes out a bit. But I probably should give it a go. When 3 or 4 or 5 separate people say, "Have you tried meditation?" Maybe I should give it another go.
Probably should try it.
Yeah. Just to bring it full circle, and then we'll wrap up in terms of pageantry, because we haven't really talked about pageantry, but that's okay.
Just going slightly off topic.
Anyone got any pageant-related questions?
We were talking about PT, and then we got onto being a vegan. Like, honestly, if you see me in the UK and you start talking to me about like going meatless and stuff like that, it's probably a bad idea unless you have a lot of time, because but I probably will actually on my secondary Instagram start posting up some vegan meals, just stuff, because I know a lot of people are interested in that. And I don't want to impose it on anyone, because to me it's like religion. You don't go around telling everyone what they should believe. But if people are interested in maybe going vegetarian or vegan or meatless Mondays, as we said last week, or a veganary, then I think it'd be good to get some meal ideas so you guys don't feel like you're starving. But in terms of pageantry, I was gonna ask about the highlights for you guys of 2019, if you had any, because it's been a long year. Like if I think back to where I was last year, it seems like a lifetime ago. So if I can just get you to cast your minds back, and for those of you watching, if you cast your minds back to the distant past, 365 days ago after Christmas 2018, where your life was. And then since then, the pageants you've been entered into, the pageants you've seen other girls competing in. Like for you guys, what have been some of the highlights, or what have been some of the most enjoyable times for you guys in pageantry over the last 12 or so months?
So my year has pretty much been Galaxy compared. Well, I say I've been to other systems as well. Been to watch other systems as well.
Sure.
But considering I handed over in March, since handing over in March, I've been to Galaxy Island, judged at Galaxy Portugal, and then flew halfway around the world to Galaxy Internationals. So for taking
I'm seeing a
break,
recurring theme here.
did I really? But I absolutely loved it, and I think sometimes it's nice to be on the other side of the stage, watching and learning from other people. And I think I haven't been able to do that in such a long time. Don't get me wrong, when I was at Galaxy Internationals, I would have done anything to have been on the stage, but
of course,
I think it's really good to sort of reflect and take in all the different outfit ideas, of course, and
Stealing.
Just sort of exactly
borrowing.
I just think it was, it was really nice to be on the other side of the stage for once.
Yeah, you didn't really have for someone who's had a year away, in inverted commas, from pageantry.
So I wouldn't call it that. It's more just a year off competing. So I'm going to put it that way instead, rather than a year out from. It would be impossible to take me away from pageants completely.
Yeah,
it's been my life
see that.
Since I can remember. So I'd be lost without it.
What am I without a sash and without a crown? Oh no. Danielle, what about yourself?
Well, for me, obviously, Galaxy is a huge part of my journey personally, competing, again, pulling myself out of retirement and stepping up and competing as a Ms for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I'd only ever competed as a Miss. So it was something that I thought long and hard about before I came back. And yeah, I had the best time. Galaxy is unlike any other pageant that I've done. As you know, I've done quite a few, and it really is such a sisterhood. Like, I know that they've all got their own sisterhoods, but I feel like Galaxy brings everyone together. A Galaxy pageant, there is people from every single pageant. It's got such a huge community feel behind it, and I just felt like I got accepted by everyone into that family, which I felt like I knew pockets of different places in other pageants and pageant people. Like, I knew a lot of people, but I didn't feel truly accepted in a real strong community. And I felt like with my journey with Galaxy, I kind of found my family. And Mia, you're a part of that family, and you've been so sweet to me. We've shared 2 hotels this year.
We have.
Apparently we're snoring.
One at Galaxy International, and that's how Mia knows I snore. But other highlights, again, yes, Galaxy Portugal, getting to judge at that as well was amazing. I think I was the only one that hadn't actually earned a Galaxy crown, other than being like a Portuguese celebrity that was on there. So I was very honoured to be there. What else? Obviously, Galaxy International was such an experience and put a little fire in my belly, ready for next year. And it kind of gave me some extra knowledge, inspiration. Like you say, checking out all the kind of, especially fashion wear, because I do struggle with fashion wear. Yeah, that was just a phenomenal experience. And then obviously getting to attend Miss World,
Same. Oh my God.
Held in London. How spoiled were we to have that on our doorstep? And literally it's a 10-minute drive from my house. So I was just like, finally, I don't have to travel to the other side of the world to watch an international pageant.
On your doorstep, literally.
So that was a massive highlight. And I think it's been one of the highs of pageantry this year. It's really been about the inspirational woman. Like, I feel like, period, in all of the pageants, I feel like every girl that has won this year, they've either nailed their onstage question, they are it, they embody it. it's less about kind of what you look like, what you're wearing. It's more about what you stand for. And I feel like there's been such a movement in pageantry around that, and it's just really lovely to see. So it's definitely a highlight of the year.
Absolutely. I think for myself, because I was thinking about this morning before we jumped on, and I think the highlights for me, definitely, I think seeing how much fun everyone had at Miss World. For me, it was just really refreshing, and this might sound bad, but it was really refreshing to see an international pageant that everyone went to and went, oh my God, we had lots of fun. It was really well run, etc., etc. And, you know, they were pleased with who won, and it was kind of drama free. It was, and that was honestly super refreshing. I mean, we waited until December to have that, but given the other stories I've heard from other international pageants, I was like, oh my God, thank God there was one international pageant that was kind of drama free. I think Harriet Lane, just in particular, not to single anyone out, but Harriet obviously, for one reason or another, or a lot of reasons, inspired a lot of people, including current queens.
She's phenomenal.
So I think that is going to have a very big flow-on effect next year, and I'm sure she's got bigger plans. But just to single one queen out, and I don't really like doing that, but her performance internationally in Japan was it seemed to inspire a lot of the UK pageant scene. And then just personally, selfishly for myself, I think for me, interviewing Maria Torres, which was back, I don't know, I think it was June, May, sometime, that was a very sort of spur of the moment thing, and she was the first director I'd interviewed, and that obviously actually led, like, if that hadn't happened, this wouldn't be happening right now. So it's interesting for me, and I don't know if you guys have the same thing in your lives where you just make one decision and then you realize that one decision has led to a lot of other opportunities and decisions. Not all of them good, but you know, it's just led to stepping stones. Then somehow you wouldn't have ever gotten here if you hadn't made that one decision like months ago or years ago. So that's been very interesting, and obviously that got me very much into the Galaxy family as well. But it has been a long year, a very long year, filled with a lot of highs, a lot of lows, if I'm honest. But it's only a couple of days till 2020. So how are you two feeling about that? Can you believe it? 2020.
You say couple, and it's literally, we've got one more day left in 2020.
You've got less, Adrian, is it not?
It's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve. So in 12 hours... Are you doing
anything special?
Hey.
I don't know yet. Everything's sort of very last minute. There's been a big thing in Sydney with should we even have the fireworks display because of all the bushfires. So there was a petition started, and I think got 250,000 signatures saying that we should sort of not boycott, but not do the fireworks this year, and instead use that money to support the bushfire efforts. That's not happening, and I'm not surprised by that. So the fireworks are going ahead. But what they're doing apparently is displaying a phone number up on the harbour bridge where people can phone in and donate money to support the bushfire relief. And I actually think that's a pretty good middle ground, because a lot of people will tune in to watch the Sydney fireworks, obviously. Also because we're basically the first country to go New Year. I mean, obviously there's New Zealand, but New Zealand doesn't have the giant firework display where we blow up the harbour bridge. And I was in the Botanical Gardens and I saw them preparing the harbour bridge, and I got to say, I was at the 2000 fireworks when we had the Olympics, and that was something. This is the first time probably in the last 20 years where I've looked at how the bridge is getting prepared, and it's like, this could actually be pretty good, because it looks pretty fancy. It was on my Instagram story. I don't think it is anymore. But I
was only 18 days old then.
18 days.
It's so funny you say that, because I'm just thinking, 2000, was Mia actually even born?
No,
that was the first thing that crossed my mind, and the second thing was, oh my God, how old am I? How long have I been doing this? It's like 2000. When you're talking to someone and having an adult conversation with someone whose birth date begins with a 2, as in they were born in 2000 and something. My mind, I don't know, Danielle, you can relate, but my mind is like, no, you should still be a baby. How are you having an adult conversation with me? And now you guys are like aging out of teen sections. And I'm like, what? What? I'm so confused. I think my brain is back 10 years ago. It still hasn't caught up with the fact that it is
Still back in
2020.
2000.
Yeah. Anyway, Catherine Decker has said, "Look at these gorgeous girls." Well,
That's really sweet.
Lauren's looking good, but that's because she's not actually there. That's a photo. Lauren, shout out to you. Thank you for your help this year, and I hope the 7-day hangover is getting better.
Has she even tuned in, or is she asleep? She's probably asleep now.
She was tuned in briefly, but she's probably passed out now. I somehow don't. I don't think she'll be needing your sleep app.
No.
But yeah, look.
She's good.
I think this is obviously the last podcast for 2019.
Actually, that's so special.
I said you were special.
The very last one of 2019.
And I've pretty much gone the whole podcast being able to understand you. I didn't need a translator after all.
It shocked me. I'm very proud of myself and you.
When I said I couldn't understand you before, did you actually believe me?
I believed you because I've been told by people who are not Welsh that sometimes I do speak fast occasionally, which is a Welsh thing anyway.
You just get really excitable when you speak, because you're excited, not because you're hard to understand. It just comes out fast because you're like, "Ugh."
But to me, obviously, it's just normal.
Just normal. It's just normal to be excited, which I think is a great thing.
I think that now especially, I'm probably trying to not speak as fast as I normally would.
It wasn't
so slow I might slow down. I might completely stop.
That's not going to make you easier to understand if you just sit there in silence. No, but it was just that one phrase that you said. What was that thing about it's not the mouth? What? It's the mind it goes into, not the mouth it comes out of. It just has such a weird phrasing that I couldn't understand that one sentence. Everything else was okay.
It's just an interpretation thing. So what I say, I might mean it in one way, but how you take it in and interpret it could be completely different. That's what the saying is meant. Yeah, but that's not a Welsh thing.
No, I know that now, but back when you said it, I couldn't understand it. So I understood it maybe. It took me about 10 seconds to understand it back then. I got it now. It's all good. But the rest of the time, I just thought it was funny to say I didn't understand you. If I can understand, as has been a recurring thing, if I can understand the Scottish accent, I'm pretty sure I'm prepared for anything.
Yeah, the Scottish, I even sometimes struggle with that.
Yeah, and
I think it sounds so beautiful, though.
Yeah, I love the Scottish accent.
It does. I'm not going to lie, I spent most of yesterday, I drove up to the Hunter Valley, which is a winery region here, and it takes about 2 hours to drive up and drive back. I spent most of the car ride up speaking in Olivia's accent. Not gonna lie. And my friend was asking.
Who are you talking to?
I was driving with a friend because she had never been up to the Hunter Valley, so I thought, okay, we'll go up there because it's like a weird time between Christmas and New Year's. Like, are you working or not? So we went up there. She'd never been up there. It was 40 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and of all days to pick, I wore a long sleeve black shirt, long jeans. I almost died. It was just, I didn't know it was going to be that hot. And I'm up at the Hunter Valley. It's like 40 degrees. I'm like, I'm going to die. I didn't want to drink wine.
We wouldn't even wear that in 5 degrees.
It was insane. But my friend was looking at me very puzzled for a sec, like, why are you speaking like that? It's like, I don't know. I just find it enjoyable to be speaking with a Scottish accent. I can't help myself.
So I don't think that was all too good.
I didn't say it was good. I just say I enjoy it. I've been practicing it a lot just to amuse myself.
Carry on. Whatever makes you happy.
When I speak to Olivia, I will speak to Olivia in her accent, and no one will be able to tell the two of us apart. Maybe.
You're going to be picking up
myself.
Olivia, what's this? Olivia, what's this? How do you pronounce that?
Oh, that game she was playing with the Scottish words. I still insist that, Joanna, if you watch this, you cheated. It's not fair. So that game of Monopoly that actually Danielle said would be a bad idea, it's probably going to happen, and it will be World War III, because
I'm going to bring the Monopoly board and watch this unfold.
Yes. Apparently there are a few very competitive people there, and we're all going to be in the same place at the same time. In
pageant land in general, there is a lot of competitive. That's the reason why we do it. We're all pretty competitive.
Yeah,
you need competition in your life.
It's
a little bit of healthy competition.
Exactly.
See, I think I'm probably... I'm not a competitive person generally, and I think pageants have helped me to be that little bit more competitive, have the sort of balance, because I think I always struggled with bigging myself up, and I didn't want to be better than another person, which isn't the case, but think, well, yeah, I'm good too, or I'm as good, so I think it's helped me become a little bit more competitive.
Yeah. A little bit of health competition's all good.
Yeah. I don't think Danielle has ever had any problems being competitive.
I've always been pretty competitive. I think that's my sports background, though. I think anyone that was kind of involved in sports, you kind of, you'll want to win.
Yeah, I know.
You don't go to lose. Train really hard. And if you're lucky, you come out victorious.
But Mia, just this might be an interesting little fact for you. Since you didn't like my Scottish accent, let me give you this little gift. The actual root derivation of the word compete from Latin, competere, it doesn't mean like to beat someone up. It actually means to seek together, as in to seek a goal together.
So
the actual definition of compete, this is not a positive thinking, this is a definition of compete, is actually in saying that in both of us striving, like pushing each other, we actually both get better and we seek a goal together.
Each other.
So it's very much the opposite of what a lot of people think in terms of I win, you lose. Yeah. It's not that. It's we all get better by competing together. And it's very real. Like you only like if you want to get better, you just compete against the best. That's what I would want to do in anything I do, is compete against the best, because that pushes you.
Learn, obviously, don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a different day, a different result at the end of the day, doesn't it? It depends how you are on form on that day. If you're, it just shows you in tennis as well. You got these kind of like 15-year-olds coming out of nowhere, and someone beats Serena Williams, like that was like 15. Like,
and I just
might be against you, but it's a competition. It's just who did the best on the day.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think that when you do finally have your moment, then you do realise that, okay, I get it now. I get why I didn't win the first time, the second time, or I get why I've now placed where I've placed, and it's all because you've learned from what you didn't do before.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, even if you don't, not everyone obviously is going to have their moment if the moment is defined as winning, because there's only so many crowns available. So I think it's very important the moment can be defined as what you've learnt as well. I mean, there is that old cliched saying of it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, and it's not about the goal, it's about who you become in pursuit of that goal. And those sorts of things, it's very easy to roll your eyes at, but it's very important to remember, because it doesn't matter how hard you work, sometimes working hard doesn't guarantee a win. And you have to be okay with that and realize it's not about the winning. It's about who you've become in the process.
Yeah. And that's why I never get sad when I'm always the one, when I competed in Miss Universe Great Britain, I didn't place, and I flew all the way over to Miami to support Grace in Miss Universe. I've taken away so much from it. It's like, whoever wins, you're a representative of me. At the end of the day, you're a representative of all these girls, so we have to support whoever wins. You can't ever take it personally. It's about your journey that you've had. You've had a phenomenal journey, regardless if you get the crown or
what you've taken from it.
What you take away from it is far more valuable. The friendships that you take away from it, the memories, just the empowerment as well that you have afterwards. That's far more important than a crown and, being a queen for a year. Yeah, that's an honour if you are a win, because you're having to represent all these girls and represent your country. But that's why whenever I've lost far more than I've won. So for me to keep picking myself up and keep doing it is because I actually love the journey. Otherwise you just would get sick of it. And you'd go, look, I'm not getting any money out of this. I'm actually spending a lot of money out of this. Like, why would you keep doing it? Why would you keep doing it unless you loved
money,
it?
time, emotion, all those things.
Yeah.
But I honestly think it's that sporting background that you have. I've interviewed people who've been competitive dancers as well. And I think learning to lose is one of the most important lessons you can learn. Like, if you go and play a tennis match, like if you lose, it's not the end of the world. I don't see it that way. Some people do. And I think if you have that competitive sport background or competitive anything background, and hopefully you're not the best, because one of the best gifts you can be given is losing and how you respond to that. And I think there are a lot of pageant girls who when they lose, they do take it very personally, and you can see it, because that's when they stop competing, and some of them even become depressed because they take it super personally. So I think that's probably, coming up to New Year's, and a lot of people set New Year's goals. I think it'd be maybe a good reminder to just check your goals to see whether they're based on, what is it? It's like outcome oriented goals versus process oriented goals. So your outcome goals are, I want to be Miss Galaxy 2021. That's an outcome goal, which you don't have full control over, but a process goal that could be related to that would be, I'm going to get to the gym, let's say 3 times a week, or I'm going to drink 3 liters of water a day. And those are things that directly you can control. And I think it's a bit better to set those. I mean, you can have some obviously outcome oriented goals, but the process ones you can control.
Download Danielle's sleep app and get sleep so I don't have eye bags.
Yes. Are you talking to me?
In Galaxy UK. And then eventually win, because I don't have eye bags.
I don't know if there's enough sleep in the world to get rid of my eye bags, but we all have our own little things to work on. That's the thing. So a lot of people could set the goal of being Miss Galaxy 2021, but I think a lot of our process-oriented goals to get there would be very different. Some of us need to work on managing our time. Some of us need to take more time. Some of us need to speed up. Some of us need to slow down. For some people, it's going to the gym more. Frankly, for some people, it might be going to the gym a bit less and taking on a bit less, because some of you guys are working yourselves to death. And then you're going to end up at Galaxy and you're going to be exhausted and you won't be able to put your best foot forward. So different goals for everyone, I think.
It's certainly about having a balance, and I learned first year, even though I did make the 100 appearances when
I think you've done more appearances than me this year, Mia, and you're not even competing.
Without a sash.
The number of appearances that you guys do is insane. You gotta love it. I think pageantry, if you don't love it, you shouldn't be doing it. You really should not be doing it.
Yeah, if it feels like a chore, then you're in the wrong business.
Absolutely. Okay, well, let's wrap it up there. That was probably the most random. Yeah, but last week's one was random as well. But that was mainly that was mainly the Lauren Parkinson was soused episode, which was hilarious. You got to have one of those a year. But this one was very, very interesting, and we touched on a lot of different subjects.
Thank you for having me.
I told you were special. I did mean it. This is special. But yeah, it would be remiss of me not to obviously thank Mia for coming on, but obviously to everyone who's been watching and supporting, particularly you insane people from the UK. Thank you so much. Your support and your views and your comments and your likes, greatly appreciated, because coming from, I don't know if all of you know, but the background from coming from Australian pageantry was I was pretty much about to shut up shop because I wasn't getting anywhere. So to find a UK family was what kept me going halfway through this year. And thank you to the one who's not here, and I may replace you. Mia was saying 3 strikes and you're out, so this is the 2nd strike, Lauren. In all seriousness, thank you to Lauren for her time, and obviously Danielle, to yourself with your insane timetable. I'm always appreciative of the fact that you are rushing home to get onto the podcast.
I'm on the bus, I'm on my way.
And I feel really bad because you don't get to eat before you jump on, and then some of the episodes get for an hour and a half. Yeah, but look, thank you for your time, very much appreciated. And I think the next time I speak to you guys, all of you, will be in 2020. So happy New Year to everyone. Stay safe. Enjoy yourself. Not too much.
And thank you, Adrian, as well, before we go, because we've got to say thank you to you for creating such an amazing platform for us girls to speak from. I know a lot of girls have always done posts and they kind of get their word out that way, but not many people have got on camera to speak, and especially going live as well. It's such an amazing, amazing platform. So thank you to you, Adrian, as well.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You're very,
we can't
very
wait for
welcome.
you to come to the UK, the UK family.
Yeah.
You'll be a celebrity.
You are a
You are a
celebrity, yeah, Adrian. I'm not going to lie.
Don't blow my head up. Mia messaged me, I don't know if you remember this, a couple of months ago, saying it'd be so exciting to meet you. Everyone thinks so highly of you. And it's like, yeah, just wait till you meet me. Like, way down. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's been a lot of hard work, but I think certainly it's been worth it, especially since sort of going into the UK, and it's been a very refreshing experience. So best of luck to everyone in 2020, no matter what your goals are, pageantry and otherwise. If you need a gym and you're in London, hit Danielle up. You've only got a day left to claim that £100 gift card. If you want perfume, speak to Lauren. And Mia, are you spruiking anything? I feel like we should push people in your direction too. Are you selling anything? We've got gym memberships in the top right. We've got perfumes in the bottom left. What have you got, Mia?
I can organise some appearances for you.
Yeah,
organise some appearances. Yeah. You be the go-to person for that. All right, Danielle and Mia, I'll keep you on the line for just a sec. I'll hang up with the audience. Thank you so much, sincerely, to everyone for watching, and we'll see you 2020.
What's up, guys? It's Adrian again. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to head over to pageantlaunch.com, join our launch team for our review site. It's super important to all of us to make sure that the industry is safe, transparent, and fair. So head over to pageantlaunch.com, write in your email address, and we'll speak to you next time.